Hey Wellness Warriors, this quick 10-minute sequence is designed to open up your hips after a long day of traveling. Nothing worse than being on a plane for hours or sitting in a car and you get out and your hips feel destroyed and your low back starts to hurt. So this sequence is going to take you through a quick 10-minute flow that you can do in your hotel room, if you're at home or you reached your final destination, to wake up your hips a little bit. Starting out, you don't have to be seated. There's an optional 2 props you may need. Optional. You may need a strap for some floor work later, and maybe you need either a bolster, a pillow, or you can use a block as well. I'm going to leave these to the side, but no, we may need those, maybe, maybe not. Start out in downward facing dog. Okay, so however you want to get yourself there, downward facing dog. First one, just starting to pedal the legs out, long spine. Take a deep breath in and exhaling all your air. Already starting to reconnect to your body, to the mind. Right, you can feel a little airy perhaps from traveling sometimes. So starting to ground is an important part of once you come back down towards your mat, to the earth, or you're getting out of the car, again, whatever it might be. We're going to step the right foot forward, left knee comes down. As we come into a low lunge, untuck the back toes, arms up overhead. To work into the front of your left hip, grab for your left wrist, reach up and over towards the right. So you might immediately, I know I am, starting to feel this in the front left hip flexor area. And so when we are seated for a while, you have a lot of flexion. Now we're working into the opposite hip to open. Deep breath in. Rise back up, inhale, hands come down to the mat. Tuck your back toes under and step back, down dog. Pretty simple, stepping left foot forward, switching sides, back knee down, inhale, arms rise. Switching sides, so now here you can really see the opening in the front of your right hip, reaching up tall and over towards the left for 3. You might even let the hips sink down a little bit, 2. Inhale, back to center, exhale, hands come down. Tucking the back toes under. And again, step back, downward facing dog. We're going to work into pigeon pose. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist, and you're coming onto your right shin. So here's where if your hips are really tight, you may want to use a bolster or a prop to place underneath here. If you're in a hotel room, just grab a pillow. Grab a pillow from the bed. Don't use it later. But you can use a pillow for underneath your hip as support. So again, that's an option. Or maybe you come all the way down. You'll know the difference. If you start to lean a lot to the right side, you're going to want that extra support. Okay, so making sure your knee feels okay. That's forward. The back thigh is wrapped down. Inhale and exhale, folding forward. Either staying up on your hands down to your forearms, or if it feels best for you to extend all the way out, you can do that too. But I'm going to stay here, holding for 3. 2. 1, rise back up. You of course can stay there as long as you'd like. Pause the video, stay longer if you wish. That one can feel pretty good after a long flight. Planting the hands, shift the weight over towards your right hip and sweep your left leg out in front of you. You're going to take the sole of your right foot to inside of your left thigh and allow the hips to open up to the side. So the low back can get a little cramped. Here we're opening up into the side of the waist. Place your left hand down, your left heel's forward. Make sure you can see that. And reach your right arm up overhead. Important here to keep this right sit bone connected to the mat as you're lifting up to the side bend. Some of you might grab for the foot. Again, it's not really necessary to do so as long as you're feeling the extension through the right side of the body. You're going to be there. Okay? Inhale, rise back up. Take your right hand behind you and we open up into the hips, the front of the hips, lifting up. Inhale. And exhale, lower back down. Crossing over the ankles, you're going to step back, downward dog, and bring your left foot forward for pigeon. Another way to get into it, because you know I love doing alternatives in different ways, you have your left shin already forward, sweep your right leg behind you. I like shortcuts. Again, the option of placing a bolster or a block or whatever you have, a hotel pillow underneath your left hip here. So you can really see what this front foot is doing now. Some of you might have your foot more parallel, just making sure your front knee feels okay. The back thighs wrap down. Inhale. And exhale, maybe onto forearms. You're moving slow in this one. Deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more in. Exhale. Whatever length of time you did on the first side, you want to do on this side. So if you took a little longer, take that same amount of time on this side, especially if this is your tighter hip. I know for me it is. Shift the weight over towards the left side and you're sweeping the right leg out in front. For your side bend, now you have the left foot to inside your right thigh. Take the hand inside of your right leg. So now you can see what my spine and the twist is doing here. Reaching left arm up overhead towards the front toes. You can also use this front hand, here it's my right, to rotate the right ribs down and then extend. There's your breath. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. One more. The inhale to rise back up, using core strength to lift you and breath. The left hand firms down. Inhale, hips lift up. And exhale, lowering arm back down. Now as both legs come out in front of you, here's where you might want to grab for the strap. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to keep it by the side and lower all the way down towards the back. With bent knees, if you're using the strap, you're going to place the strap on the ball of your foot and start to extend up through the leg. The left leg can extend as well. Here, as you hold the strap in towards your hand, you're guiding the leg, the ball of your foot to the ceiling. Right, so you're charging energy through the heel. Right leg is active, so is your quad. If you're using your hand, you're following along with me, you can grab the back of your calf, or if it's accessible, grabbing the big toe. Keeping sure that this right shoulder stays down, and so is the back of your head. I promise you there's nothing extra that comes from grabbing your toe. If you are in a hotel, you're like, I don't have a strap, grab for a towel. You can use a towel around the sole of your foot, same thing. Taking a few more breaths there if you'd like. To twist, you're going to grab the outside of your right shin, or for the calf, or for the foot. Especially if you have the strap, you have plenty of leverage to begin to guide the leg over towards the left side. So you'll start to feel this down the side of your right leg, probably that's your IT band, which then connects right at the top of your hip. So this all gets really, really tight in general. Even if you're just a walking human being and you're not traveling, it still gets really tight. You can look up to the ceiling, over to the right if you want to incorporate a neck stretch as well. Actively draw your right hip bone to the base of your mat, so where your left foot is. Inhale. Come on back to center. Try and keep the heel over your hip as you do so. And we're going to switch sides. Bring your left knee in. And you're either grabbing for the back of the calf, the big toe, or if you're using the strap around the ball of your left foot. Deep breath in. Exhale. Press your left heel up. Notice too, as you're pressing your heel up and your left leg is active, you'll probably feel that in the back of your calf as well, attaching to your Achilles tendon, which then stretches the sole of your foot as well. Admittedly, I do these in bed in the morning, so you really don't need a yoga mat. You don't need to have any props. You can just wake up and say, hi hamstrings, good morning. So if you still feel tight tomorrow when you wake up, try these again. Rewind and replay. Drop your left leg over towards the right side. And work your left hip forward, looking up or over towards the left side. For 3, 2, come on back to center. Inhale. Hug the knees both in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. If you want to take a couple rocks side to side. You can even take the knees individually and draw them in and out, making little circles. Switch sides and directions. And as you hug the knees in towards your chest, one more squeeze. Rock your way up to seated. Reawaken the spine. Hello. Lengthening up tall, inhale. Side bend over towards your right. Inhale, rise back up. Over towards the left. Inhale, rise. Hands to heart center. Happy hips post-traveling. For more yoga, wellness, and travel tips, head to livefreewarrior.com. Safe travels.